What's going on, everyone? I am bringing you a script for your opening drives. It's a series of plays out of the Patriots playbook for use in head-to-head or online play. It's what I like to run. I've had great success with it, getting down the field and scoring on that first possession, and I think that's a huge trick, a huge key to winning. If you can do it in draft champions, typically you'll get your opponent to quit pretty quickly in those first 1 or 2 games, and it's just a good set. The Patriots playbook gives you a lot of formations that have a lot of different looks with different routes that come out of the same formation. I like to run a lot of single back. So usually when I come out to start, I like to come out with a screen pass, and it's usually either single back normal or single back ace. So it's X right here, it's the middle play. You can see there I had 61 calls for average of 12 yards. And then I think most people come out in nickel or 4-3. I like to use a lot of nickel. So what we'll do is we'll call it a nickel play. We'll just call Tampa 2. A lot of people call that play. So for our next play, we're going to come out. We're just going to run a drag route because we want them to start pressing their corners and bringing them underneath. So out of single back ace, we're going to run shallow cross. Now this play is run, it's almost in every playbook, any type of West Coast offense or any play with single back formation, this is in that playbook. So it's a very common play. So we expect them to, if they have a good user, to read it. We'll give them the nickel blitz here, the zone blitz too deep. So what we're going to do is we're going to audible Y into a streak route. And then we're going to be reading A and Y. You can also get your B right here if they blitz that corner or that linebacker. But we should get this nice pocket in here in space, and then sometimes get a block by a corner. And there's a good 8-yard gain right there, 10-yard gain even. And so now they've gotten a drag route here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go hit them with play action typically. Because they're like thinking this guy's running the drag route. So what I like to do is do a PA boot, and I'll flip it to the open side of the field. So I'm running toward the open, wide side of the field. And so now they're like, hey, they're passing a lot. They're still doing drag routes. Maybe they'll switch to dime. Maybe they'll do dollar because we haven't run it yet. So we'll do a cover 2 drop with a man spy here and dollar. So you're looking at RB. If they're bringing blitz or pressure, you're going to hit RB. If they're not, A should usually be open. So those are your 2 reads. And then you can also read Baldwin here. Sometimes he's not covered if they're in zone and not man. I think he can get deep open down the field. So I'm going to hit RB because he's wide open. And there's another 15-yard gain. I'm going to show you this play here because X was wide open. Let's just do a different read here. X is now wide open. Hit him deep. So now we've hit him with the play action, a drag route, and then a screen. So in 3 plays, we've moved about 60 yards down the field. So now we're going to start running the ball. And we don't want to be obvious, so we're going to go back to single back ace and just run a stretch play. For them, we've been hitting with play action. They're still getting nailed. I would go man coverage here. I'd probably go cover 2 man blitz or something to that effect. So now we're reading. They got 3 in the box, 4 linebackers, and 4 cornerbacks, or 2 cornerbacks, free safety, strong safety. This play looks like it should work. We just need to get a good edge block, which we got. And then it's just one-on-one, good 5-yard run. So now we're going to do a stretch play. We're going to bring in some run sets here, and we're going to bring in a fullback. And we're going to run outside zone out of the I form. This kind of reads as a run play, so typically, you know, they've come out, we've been passing. We'll put them in nickel. They're going to probably audible into a blitz from whatever they're doing. So that's a good overload. Overload blitzes are typically a man blitz. It's typically one of the audible options. And so there's a run where this run goes all the way. There's another one where she's going to go to the house. If you get blocks on this play, you'll take it to the house. If you don't get blocks there, picked up the safety, didn't hold the cornerback though. So let's move on from there because we're still not Usually we don't get that lucky in games. So now 15 yards out, we're going to try another drag route, but we're going to bring out the shotgun. We're going to go to gun split here, and gun split's another form I like to use. So they're still thinking 2 running backs. They'll be in 4-3 or nickel, and cover 3 Mabel out of nickel is really good. It's unique to the nickel playbook. So we're going to just try to hit them for an underneath drag route. We're also going to be reading A over the top. So there's A over the top, right for the touchdown, because you can read that zone play. Now, if I wasn't reading A and I was set on throwing to X, I gotta wait. And as soon as you get some spacing with that linebacker, there's another 10-yard run. So here's one more time. Here's A coming in. Just gotta read that middle linebacker, and there's a 15-yard out strike. Now, other options you have here from 15 yards out is wide receiver corner at a gun split close. Now, instead of picking this play wide receiver corner, you want to pick halfback wheel. And let's put him in nickel again. We'll put him in man, cover 2 man. So in halfback wheel, we want to run wide receiver corner. So what we're going to do is we're going to audible to it because it's the audible in this set. And you're gonna usually sometimes I put Y on a streak route, but I like to leave him here to give me an option. So we're reading X and B. X is going to be open, and now you're within 8 yards. And one last option for 15 yards out is that play action boot to the open side of the field. And now let me show you what it looks like against man coverage. Cover 1 robbers are pretty good defense against this play. You should still get some separation with your RB Wilson there, but you shouldn't have X open. And man coverage, this doesn't work nearly as well. So you just kind of got to read the coverage and say, is this man right at the start? We've got separation, no separation. I got to make a decision. I'm going X deep. And that's just a lucky catch. That probably won't work all the time. Let's see if it works again. It's man. I got RB open. I'm going to take RB for the short in the end zone. Get some blocking. Down into the side 5. And one last time. Again, got good separation because the backer got caught up. And down to the 2. So these are options for 15 yards out. So from the 10-yard line, you've got some corner strike options from single back ace. Now remember, we've run a ton of plays out of single back ace, so at this point they're not sure. They're going to be thinking it's a drag route or something else. Inside the 10, I like to go into 4-6 if I have it in my playbook. Something that's a little more run heavy. And usually I'm calling like LB dogs or cover 1. So we'll do cover 1 here. And so we're blocking RB to give us more time to throw here on this next one. The issue is when they're stacking the blocks like this, the X route takes time to develop. And so A is your dump off, A is your quick release. So A comes when you got pressure, like we didn't have enough time for the C route to develop there. You can also bring your Y on a drag to mix this play up. That's if you're running it multiple times. It's kind of like a reverse corner strike or a reverse shallow cross play. And sometimes when I'm 10 yards out too, I'll just go full back up the gut, but I'll set it up to look at an I-form pro like those other runs we've been running. So I'll call it in a formation that I like to run outside with consistently or do toss plays with. And when I'm inside the 10-yard line, I like to call dollar, I like to go dollar, and I like to go cover 3 drop show 2 on defense. And usually I'll pinch my defensive tackle here. But there you go, just another 5 yards, and that'll get you close. And what you can do is even hurry that up and then run it right again and see if they make adjustments. And then now you're sitting at the 2-yard line. Another fun thing you can do is you can plan the hurdle for the end zone and make sure you're holding the left stick there. So from 5 yards out, we just ran a fullback dive, and we've also run a stretch play with the fullback in the backfield. Now we're going to run a counter run with our fullback. It's going to be a counter fullback fake halfback flip at an I-form pro again. And again, if I'm the defense, I'd be in 4-6. I'd be in some kind of zone probably, or cover 1. So right there, we held the block on the corner and got it in. So options from the 2-yard line, standard pass. This is a great 2-point conversion play. Shallow cross out of single back ace. So they're in a goal line set here, which means we know we're going to get quick pressure, so we're going to be reading A or Y. It's going to be A. And there, quick end zone, TD. So I'm bringing you my first series offensive play right here. Cam Newton throws a pick on a fade route, and so I'm starting at the 20-yard line. I'm going to run pretty much every play I just covered, minus a couple of the goal line formations, because I don't get that close. We end up scoring from about 10, 15 yards out. So you won't see any of the fullback dives. Those are pretty common sense to call. So started out with the halfback screen out of single back ace overload. And what happens here is his user blows it up, and Russell Wilson just throws it right into the chest of shovels it right into the chest of a defensive tackle. If we would have gotten that, that would have been probably a 12-yard gain at least, because we had our 3 linemen over there ready to block, and he had 2 cornerback and a safety. So then we go into the drag route, and you see that nice open space gets created, and we pick up the first down. And that just has to do with him being in man coverage, and it just his linebacker just getting separation, or Jimmy Graham getting separation on his linebacker. So now we're going to go to play action, the PA boot. And he's in cover 2 man, and I'm hoping he doesn't call it again. I'm hoping he's in zone. But he ends up being in cover 2 man here. So when I snap the ball, I read RB. His guy was underneath the route, so I just waited for A, and X was closed. So luckily I got Jimmy Graham there, comes down with it. So now we're going to start getting some run sets here. We start off with halfback stretch. Now he's already seen a single back ace for the shallow cross, so hopefully he doesn't adjust to a run play. He does shift his linebackers toward that side, and he gets his end he sheds the block on and makes the play and makes the tackle for a loss. So what do? We're going to run it again, because no one runs it twice in a row in Madden, right? And this play actually just doesn't go my way either. I don't know how he does it, but Kaiwan Short just blows it up, and I was lucky I didn't fumble there. He just came unblocked. My guard didn't even pick him up. So now we got a 3rd and long, and for 3rd and longs, I like to run halfback wheel. I didn't show you guys this play. Actually, yes, I did. So we just audible B to the slant route and go X, and I know X is going to get behind this linebacker, and he ends up coming down with it for the first down. I decide to run another gun split close play and go with extract trail, and I flip it so the drag route is running toward the open side of the field, because if they go in zone coverage, it's harder to cover that drag route, and there's more space in between the zones. So reading B here on the drag, he comes across, gets good separation. If you notice, A and X on those posts would have been open too if I had waited, but I took the open route. Now we're going to run a pitch play out of iPhone Pro, just because I want to give him another look at me doing outside runs. Probably could run fullback dive here to pick up the first down, but I wanted to save it in case he's going to have to run it more toward the goal line. So I was struggling to get running on this guy early on the game, and here we get a decent block, but his safety comes in free and makes the play. So now we're in a 3rd and short. Corner strikes, great play. Just put that receiver on the right, tight end, on a quick slant, and then put your other tight end on a streak route. That'll draw the zone out. It's wide open there. Quick completion, first down. So we're going to try PA boot again since we're at the 25-yard line. We're going to take a shot at the end zone with X. We're also going to be reading RB real quick because he's got a stacked box here. No pressure. RB was open. His safety came up, made the play. He caught it and then fumbled it. Didn't fumble it. He just dropped the pass during the tackle animation. That's fine. Now I've got 2nd and 10. We're going to be choosing halfback wheel again, 2 audible and 2 wide receiver corners. And be reading Y and X. And I'm also going to be reading RB. And Y was open and RB was open, and I was thinking I could have gotten it there to RB and got a catch on the run instead of getting it to Y and getting tackled, but RB didn't come down with it. My other halfback out of the backfield. So same play, this time we're going to be reading X. And what happens is X is covered, or he was actually open there. I just decided to wait and hit Jimmy Graham on the drag route. And so now we're at the 10-yard line, so we're going to try another counter run after the 2-minute conversion pops here. And so I picked a counter run out of single back ace again, although I was planning on doing the fullback flip. But on this play, we get great blocking, and he messes up his user right there, and we take it in for a touchdown. So that was my first drive. I ran most of the plays I just went over. They work pretty well as long as you don't keep calling them over and over again. So typically on my next drive, I'll work through a different set. I'll do a lot of gun or a lot of sidecar formations while still kind of calling the same drags and outside runs. This has been working for me in Madden so far. So I hope this video helps you guys. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.